And welcome to the CoEs Couch. I'm Louis Kilton,
And I'm Tim Caulfield.
and today we have lots to discuss. But first, let's clear what is CoEs Couch? CoEs Couch is something that we're going to be during 3 weeks of the month, where it's going to be just students here at the College of Esports, and we're going to be informing you what's going on, how things like London Legion are doing, and just keeping you up in the loop of the esports scoop here. What do you say?
Not the Dale reference.
The Dale reference in there as well.
Oh, we missed London Legion TV for that one.
And on top of that, we're going to be having a College of Esports Industry podcast, where it's going to be a student interviewing a big name in the scene, such as what may or may not be happening next week, Foxdrop, big industry names that have a big share of the pie, giving their insight and giving everything you need to know about how to get into the industry, what it's like, and the challenges that people have to face.
Perfect.
So, with that being said, shall we? We also have to bring in Stanley here.
Yeah.
Stanley is going to be our little mascot for this podcast.
Yeah, he's looking rather ominous in that background there.
He is, but he's a lovely guy. Once you know him, he doesn't talk on the podcast, but offset, he's charming.
I mean, from what I remember, he just sort of randomly appeared in this studio here.
Yeah, I just spawned in.
He just sort of spawned in.
Yeah.
No idea where he came from. But anyway.
Don't question it.
Yeah. We've got plenty of things to talk about today. First, we're going to look back at the winter semester of the College of Esports. You know, there's been a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably quite a lot to go over, if we're honest.
So where should we start? I'm going to say, personally, I'd like to start with the team performances.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Of which has been a very big change for the uni. Last year, in September, was a massive increase in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have more numbers, for someone like me who's managing the teams, that means you got a lot more. You got a lot more soldiers. You got a lot more recruits.
I mean, we were limited to what, sort of 8 teams last year overall of every single game, right?
Pushing it as well,
Yeah,
with 40 students in year one.
Yeah. Now we're well past
120.
Mm.
Yeah. So my role is competitive director of London Legion, and that involves managing the teams, getting them to tournaments that they want to be. It depends whether they want to be casual or want to go to pro. I fulfill both of those needs. And what is London Legion? London Legion is the organization within the College of Esports that serves as a team organization for students to compete in. It's just for the students, and it provides people to develop their playing, their coaching, their social media, like Tim is here, everything, and it makes us more competitive for when we enter the industry.
And obviously, it's pretty much for entirely the students.
Yeah.
And for the most part, entirely also run by the students. So obviously, you've got your big role as competitive manager.
Yep, there's a lot of running.
We've got several first years that have just come into the uni, and they've now taken up mantles within London Legion.
Yep.
I am also the social media manager for London Legion.
Yeah.
So I work very closely with the content manager for College of Esports, who is Bryony, and we make a lot of content together.
Yeah.
And that could have been put on both social media pages.
All sorts of content.
All sorts of it.
And yeah, whether it's clips, promotional material, you name it, you'll find it on the social medias. So
Possibly some
have
awards.
a little browse.
Some awards we might have been nominated for.
Yeah. So where you want to find us on social media is London_Legion.
No, it's London @LondonLegion_official.
Okay, there we go.
For the most part, we've got some weird accounts floating out there. So we've got London Legion official on, I believe it's on Twitter and on Instagram.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this on Spotify, you've already found us. Well done.
Congratulations. You probably found us through social media. So.
Well done.
Yeah. With that being said, one of the biggest posts I'd like to talk about is the Game Has nomination.
Definitely, yeah.
Really proud of the team, London Legion Juno. They're a women and non-binary Valorant roster, and they have been nominated. They're against some big names as well, such as G2, I believe. Who else was nominated in there as well?
I'm not too sure.
But big names like G2.
Yeah.
And, you know, for an org that has been going for who knows how long versus London Legion that is on its second year of lifespan. It's quite nice to start contending.
It's massive,
this
is what
early.
it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing really well with that one. Been nominated for 2 awards for that, which is Top College 8 Team of the Year and also Top Prize Picks Team of the Year.
Yeah.
So we're really impressed with London Legion Juno.
And we're getting there as well. I'd say in terms of the team performance with Juno and the teams. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me just to grab my device all the way over here?
Let's get the stats.
Let's get the stats up. I mean, we've got several different ones to talk about here. For example, Newell, overall, we are 30th out of 112 unis.
Which is a good start considering, again, 120 students versus, up to like 50,000.
Yeah, I mean, 50,000 people, some of which unis have been in this sort of scene for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, it's a very good start. And we still have like a third year of students to come in.
To make this even better, mate, we are 3rd out of 112 teams in Valorant. Overall,
just
3rd.
Valorant, I get.
We really are just cracked at Valorant.
Cracked at Val.
I mean, we have a lot of Valorant teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are a lot of Valorant teams. It's a very popular game, especially for the esports industry right now. Couple ones we can really pick up on. The Overwatch team, they finished 21st out of 198 teams overall in NSC. So that was 21st in Division 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is top 250 people we're realistically talking about in these teams here.
And on top of that is like the first split.
Exactly.
These are first years and second years combined. They don't really have much experience as a team together. And for a first split performance, I think that is very impressive.
I mean, something that we've always found is that the winter split, it's typically for finding out who the new blood really is.
Yeah.
Finding out who's going to stick on teams.
Who's going to survive the cold. Who's going to freeze under the pressure.
And then you get to the spring split, which we're going into very soon on February.
Yeah.
And then we actually see the teams who actually wants to stick it out, prove themselves, and actually win the awards and prizes that NSC and Newell offer.
I agree. And yeah, we're going to be looking into developing that into more tournaments as well.
Definitely,
other than the uni leagues, we've had the Apex team, for example, which are a cracked team, by the way.
They really are.
Love the Apex.
Yeah, so they played in both Newell and NSC, according to your report.
Yep.
They came 2nd in Newell and 4th in NSC out of 53 and 51.
6th in Newell.
6th in Newell?
Yeah, unfortunately. But 4th in NSC.
This is your report, Louis, honestly.
Yes it is. Yes it is.
Fair enough.
I edited the stats in the actual. That's just the draft.
Yeah, that is just the absolute draft of it. However, Apex team, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We could not be more proud of them as London Legion managers. Like, they've done incredibly well for themselves, especially as I think pretty sure it's a first year team entirely.
So yeah, exactly. So we've made our dent, you could say, in the scene. But what is the plan from there? And the plan from there would be to just get better.
Yeah, definitely.
Get better, start competing in more stuff. For example, the Apex team, they've showed very impressive stats early on. So we've had them start dabbling in ALGS.
We have, yeah.
And yeah, stuff like that is...
I know the Siege team.
Yeah.
They've been looking at doing the Challenger League, which is essentially the Blast Cup for the community that Ubisoft run. So that's going against champions, diamonds, emeralds, anyone who actually wants to break into the pro scene. And as far as I know, they did pretty decently on the first few tries, but looking to get a bit more on that, I think. Yeah,
and it's a long road for all the teams. I mean, these, especially the first years, we're second years currently, they have 3 years of this uni and London Legion. There's a lot you can do in 3 years,
Definitely.
Right? And for a first split, making some nice dents like that is always very promising.
Yeah.
And it does show a lot of promise, I'd say.
I mean, if you want to move on, mate.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Tekken 8? That's the real question.
Well, yeah, that's something we're definitely going to be starting to get into.
I mean, it's currently midway through January.
Yes.
So 26th, that's coming out.
It's
Tekken
so
8.
close. It's so close.
I've seen the poster in Westfield.
Have you?
There is a massive poster by the old game store.
Yeah, it's really cool living in London as well because stuff like Tekken 8, right? It's like gaming from where we come from. We're Devon boys. we come from the sticks and the mud and the sea. When you come to London, it's a very different environment. You get billboards of like all sorts of things that like gaming is just a lot bigger here.
I mean, I was relating just yesterday, mate. That I was getting on a bus from Central out here to Stratford, and all you see is buildings and lights constantly.
Concrete jungle.
If I was in a bus in Devon, field. Hedgerows.
But yeah, stuff like Tekken 8 is always really good. And the fighting game community, I've always I've got to say, in London is just a really cool experience because there are so many bars and like even restaurants that are gaming related.
Yeah.
And fighting games pop off there because fighting games are quite a community element
definitely.
In comparison to other scenes. And, you can just go to a pub, play Smash in a tournament, and there'll be prize pools, and there's a really good scene. Obviously, it happens in other cities. Like, I know Bristol and Plymouth and all of these places have fighting game scenes. But
it's not London, is it?
In London,
it's not big.
like, you can go anywhere in London, and every day there'll be something to play in.
Definitely, yeah.
So, I know Meltdown. Plug in Meltdown now.
Oh, plug in Meltdown.
It is always a good place
We're
to
going
go.
to plug Platform next.
Platform,
well,
yeah.
Both really good gaming bars that we've all been to. Sort of a community events that we really do here at the university itself.
Yeah.
But getting back to the university, how do you think people are doing in Tekken 8?
In Tekken 8, well, I think it's very strange how this has all come about.
It
right?
really is.
Because Tekken 8 originally, Tekken 7 even, spurred up when there was an opportunity at the uni to go to Korea to play Tekken.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, with the original year, none of us played Tekken.
No.
Right? And the trip didn't even matter. It was just the fact we got our hands on Tekken, and then everyone started going crazy. That was what, last year?
Yeah, that was March last year.
So it's pretty much nearly been a year of us just playing Tekken. And it's quite good, like recruiting all the first years to play. It makes it a pretty good environment. Because with esports, it's not like we just play football here, right? Or one game is what I'm... So sometimes there's a bit of a divide in what people play. Like a Valorant player would never really play League of Legends, etc. And having a fighting game that everyone kind of dabbles in is really quite fun.
Yeah,
I'd say.
mean, you come in every single morning, try to go to your classes, but someone is...
Jawson brings out the hitbox.
Jawson brings out the hitbox. Run Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 on our PS5 in the SLZ.
Yeah.
And you get stuck playing.
Yeah.
You've experienced it.
Yeah, I have. Like, Tim over here just chatting about, you want to try out the Leroy? I've learned some new moves.
Stop it. Don't.
And then just have to bring out the
No, I'm still mad about the parry window timings. Still mad about it.
Well, yeah, it's a big nerf in Tekken 8, but
just a bit.
I swear Leroy will still be playable.
Oh no, he is still very playable, especially with the new cane attack he has, which is a low, and people don't block those that much.
One of the really cool things I observed about Tekken 8 and how they were promoting it was that they did it in the Red Bull Gaming Sphere as well.
They did, yeah. I saw that
also
event pop up recently.
Yeah. And I think it's just a really good sign, right? That I think Tekken 8 is going to be quite big in London.
I think so.
Because if they're starting to do it in the Red Bull Gaming Sphere and stuff like that, I think, there is definitely going to be a scene building up.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, this is actually the first Tekken to come out on consoles much before arcade machines.
Yeah, because even Tekken 7 came out on arcade cabinet before.
It did, yeah. I didn't know that until a few months ago, and I was like, that is genuinely shocking they've gone for this long releasing them arcade cabinets.
I mean, Tekken 7's what, like 7 years old?
Yeah.
7, 8 years old?
2014?
That's an old game.
No, whoa. Ooh.
That's like, for a game that doesn't get like updated like Counter-Strike or League, being that old and still that's an old game.
It was never meant to be a live service model.
Yeah.
But it sort of has become one.
Yeah, and you know what? It worked.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're playing it, so it must have worked, right?
We're playing it. All the first years are playing it. We love it.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it.
There's a bit of childish rivalry between all of us, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a little. So if Tekken 8 wanted to just, someone came in a Kazuya cosplay and just down forward to the door open, that'd be pretty cool.
Obviously, mentioning all the first years and how we're getting them into Tekken and all fighting games generally.
Yeah.
We welcome them all into our doors. 110 of them.
Yeah.
Plus our 40 students, so we're nearly up to 150, 140 odd students.
Yeah.
How do you think semester 1 went for everyone?
I would say it was really good. I mean, there was a lot to cover with semester 1, and yeah, so we've covered the London Legion side.
Mm-hmm.
There have also been events.
There have been lots of events going on,
and I mean, there was the Halloween and Christmas events.
Yep, that was hosted by.
They were hosted by the first years even.
Yeah. That was completely made by the first years. We sort of left it to them, as did the staff.
Kind of like categorizing them, but first years, a couple people within, like the new students, have very event-minded like ideas. So they did stuff, and yeah, we had a Dead by Daylight little tournament.
We did, yeah.
And yeah, just a cool little Halloween dress-up party.
Yeah, I mean, now we've got a film and TV society as well.
We do.
So that was originally set up by Lewis, but then it's now being run by first years.
Yep.
What did we watch on Christmas, mate? Violent Night.
Violent Night. It has the guy from Stranger Things.
David Harbour.
David Harbour, that's him. I like David Harbour.
I love David Harbour.
I feel really criminal for saying something like that. It feels like I'm saying the guy from Fortnite. Wait, he is from Fortnite, isn't he? Wait, no, he is. Wait, he is actually. I'm not wrong. David Harbour's in Fortnite, isn't he?
Do not tell me David Harbour's in Fortnite.
Yes, he is. There's a Stranger Things collab. I'm almost certain. He's. Oh my god, that is ruined.
That's the worst thing to hear. I don't like that.
Watch Violent Night. He is in Fortnite. Yeah,
No.
okay. Got confirmation from the team. All right, that's perfect. That's made my day.
That's cursed. No.
But yeah, yeah. It's always pretty interesting watching stuff like that. Violent Night. And
yeah, we have a decent few films we watched through Arcane.
Yes.
And that was made to look at our game design students, mainly because the animation was incredibly progressive when it actually came to Arcane.
Yeah.
Mixing like anime, Japanese animation with an American style of live action animation.
Yeah, because it's a 3D base animation with 2D overlay
exactly.
on top of it.
It's a really cool premise come out of the studio, and I think everyone's quite excited for season 2 coming out.
I mean, it got teased, didn't it?
It did. It's coming out next year.
Yeah, next year.
Wait, no, this year.
Is it? The end of this year?
Yeah, end of this year. It's November-ish.
Oh. The League addiction's going to be coming back. I swear.
I mean,
if it hasn't started already.
That's what got me into League in the first place, if you remember rightly, mate.
Back in the days.
Back in the day.
Honestly. Yeah. Wow. Arcane coming back. It feels like it's been so long.
Yeah, I mean, what do we think of the teaser? Warwick? Maybe?
I mean, yeah, that is Warwick.
Yeah, that is definitely Warwick.
It's hands down. I've forgotten his name.
Vander.
Yeah, Vander. Vander is definitely Warwick.
Yeah.
I'm not spoiling this for anyone, am I?
Everyone's been calling this for 2 years now.
Yeah. It only took the first 3 episodes to be like Vander.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah.
Unless I'm completely misreading something here.
I mean, you might be.
Maybe. So when it comes to stuff like Arcane and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always social media posts and stuff like the teaser to hype it up.
Too much of it.
What would you say, the plans on like hyping up this year for London Legion?
This year for London Legion.
Because we got teams, Tim.
We have
we got to hype these teams up.
Well, I've already been hyping them up.
And you have,
Have
yeah.
you not seen the posts?
I have been seeing the post. Don't you worry. I'm not an interrogator. I'm just saying. What have you done so far, and what is the future?
Your result sheet is coming in criminally useful. If I'm 100% honest.
Yep.
And I don't know if anyone listening has actually been following on the social media recently, but obviously you posted about London Legion Juno really recently.
Yeah.
That was really loved by the actual university CEO.
Yeah.
And he wants to get that put around the uni.
Yep.
Because he feels that's a huge achievement, and that's a really nice post and graphic to put with it. Posted the This is London Legion video. That was the first post we made back as things were sort of getting back into the swing. And that sort of just shows a little bit about what we're about, games we play, and the community aspect we try and feel all across the uni and within London Legion itself. Let me have a think. What else we made?
What else have we made? We've also done some promotional.
We have done some promotional, yep.
Like, for example, when people did go to Korea after Tekken.
Yeah, so that was mainly a College of Esports post. I haven't actually made that one myself. Let me just... You're seeing it.
The London Legion TV stuff, of course.
Yeah, now I remember. It's the London Legion TV post. That's what I was trying to think about. So that just includes a bunch of pictures that... have been over the past year or so. Obviously, you can see us two in that post as well, and lovely Stanley. Exactly.
Our beloved.
Yeah, but we're working on a secret project, and welcome to the secret project. I know our producer Finlo was telling you to shush, but frankly, we couldn't listen.
He was just doing the faker pose.
He was just doing the faker pose.
Yeah. And yeah, Finlo equals faker.
Exactly.
So,
and most recent one we've made a couple of days ago, that was about one of the college videos we had on the open day. We had a lovely chap called Neb come in. Good friends of Nevin, our audio engineer for London Legion TV.
Yeah.
And he's coming in as a prospective student, quite possibly.
Yeah. So when it comes to social media, just for people at home listening, what are like the challenges doing social media for an org? Like, what have you faced so far? What has been difficulty, like reaching out to the audience? How have you built an audience around the social media?
Well, and the most difficult challenge when it comes to actual social media is the ever-changing aspect of it.
Okay.
Nothing will stick around for too long, especially within an algorithm for a website or a social media site itself, and it's wholly dependent on how people are feeling, the audience are feeling, realistically.
Yeah.
For example, we reposted the London Legion TV video, the London Legion gaming video.
Yeah.
And on its first viewing, when it came into the YouTube account, I think it got about 50 views, and that sort of stuck around. Re-uploaded it within the first 5 hours, it had nearly 200 views or so. And that sort of just shows the ever-changing world. Even on a small video like that, with a small following on the YouTube account, it's an ever-changing ecosystem.
Yeah.
And nothing is really for certain. If you want a really unruly beast of social media, TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't actually started a TikTok yet, but it is definitely in the plans.
So that's on the roadmap.
Definitely on the roadmap. Getting more interactive, more creative, more funny posting, essentially. And it's really an unruly beast. You don't really know what's going to succeed. You can follow trends and everything like that, but it's really a complicated mechanism.
So why can't you follow the trends? How does it make itself so random and chaotic?
A lot of the algorithms that actually social media sites use are completely secret. And if anyone finds them out, they will be changed.
Right.
Because if an algorithm is found out, people can then abuse that. So when an algorithm is completely unknown, even to the employees themselves, it then becomes more random and no one really quite knows what's going on. When you see something that's succeeding multiple times, that creates a trend.
Okay.
You can follow that trend and hopefully it will succeed, but the trend can die off extremely quickly.
Yeah.
So that is really up to the general community, algorithm, and people who find your page.
Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, it's... and especially when you have a organization's social media like London Legion that is starting from scratch, mainly starting its social media from this year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because this year has been the year you've been given.
Yeah, I mean, there's been full allowance now.
Yeah.
I've been finally trusted.
Yeah, you've been entrusted. The sword's been handed over.
Yeah, finally the sword's been handed to me. I'm not handing the sword over.
Yeah. So, yeah, how I mean, for YouTubers and content creators and whatnot, it's hard enough creating a channel from scratch and just constantly uploading and hoping for something to reach out to the mainstream.
Yeah.
How hard is that for an organization? Because
for a grassroots or new organization such as ourselves,
yeah,
I'd say it's a harder challenge.
Yeah.
More for the fact of you're trying to get a name for yourself while also competing.
Yeah.
So people are seeing your name, they're seeing you either do well or quite badly.
Yeah.
And they will associate that with your public social media image.
Yeah.
So posts you put out, things might not be as respected as you might see them.
Yeah.
And I think it's very hard to actually start up an organization page when not a lot of people know who you are. They don't know what you're about, and they don't know what your students competing can achieve.
Right.
I'd say it's a very difficult balance.
And again, the league's student champs, Newell and SE, they're not old.
No.
They're not new, but they're just in a bit of a grey area now where they're starting to develop, wouldn't you say?
I mean, Newell changed their logo ever so recently.
Yeah.
And they're now University Esports instead of Newell specifically.
Yeah.
But Newell is still the main acronym that they use.
Yeah.
So I think it's National University Esports League. There you go.
Yeah, I believe so. And yeah, so I can only imagine how tough it is, like building the brand reputation as well as the awareness on top of that from like mainstream.
I mean, don't you worry, Mr. Competitive Manager. You're going to be in photos.
Yeah.
you're already there.
Yeah, I'm already.
You're going to be helping me.
Well, of course I am. I'm a social media slave at this point, where Tim comes over, he's like, Louis, next time, because the jerseys aren't in yet, so not all the players have jerseys for social media and all of that. I'm one of the only people that has my jersey, and Lewis.
Yes.
So the jerseys, whilst we're on this, are in development.
They are,
we had some really good drafts, and I think we have a good idea. We got our initial design from ESK. It's been shipped, and I don't think we're happy with it just yet.
No,
but with a couple alterations and a couple changes with the logo on the front, people like the back. So once that's happened, we'll release it.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be for the students.
Yeah, and then it'll be all over social media. I'm not letting that go.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be plastered. I can imagine.
Brand new jersey, brand new year, new faces, new students to look at. I think it's gonna be big. I think that's great to look at.
Yeah.
Especially considering like the new Pro League jerseys we've just seen come out.
Yeah. Oh, what is with that? When it comes to jerseys, I loved Fnatic's jersey last year. I know it's a controversial opinion.
I love
the
G2's
Guy
one.
Fieri flames on a jersey, but I loved it. And it's gone very simple now for both Fnatic and G2.
Now, I was a big fan of the G2 one with the big sort of scar down the side, and down the middle as well, and different colours for each game. I loved that.
Yeah.
But now they've gone to a very basic, very sort of t-shirt design that every single team wears no matter what they play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will change a little bit around sponsors for them games themselves, but for the most part, they are exactly the same.
It's very safe. It is very safe. I'm not sure why this is stemmed, but it works. It works. That being said, we're not going to be doing that.
We're not doing that.
That's super. Well, we'll have something. We don't want to be too flamboyant, too out there.
Got to stand up from the crowd a little bit.
But we will have a little couple of alterations.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah, you'll be seeing it on your screens very soon.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially when people are starting to wear them, it'll be pretty cool. Pretty fulfilling, I'd say. And with that said, let's talk about
refreshers.
Yeah, I believe so, because this is the jerseys are still getting developed, and it's a new year.
Yeah,
talked about last year.
Semester 2, here it comes.
Yeah,
Refreshers week. It's starting literally today, beginning of this week.
Yep.
We've got a bunch of activities planned.
Yeah.
There's a general talk with each class today from their main lead, as well as a talk from head of undergrad programs, which is Stuart Costas, our man Stu.
Stewie.
And then later on in the day, we've also got a quiz designed by the first years. Again,
Yeah, by council members, actually.
Yeah, by council members.
Ista and Isha.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
they've been cooking. So I'm looking forward to that.
A couple different activities else during the week. We've got Tekken 7, possibly Tekken 8 tournament.
Yes.
Let me think. What else? There's a few.
And we will have a couple of visitors coming in.
Yeah, we are having a couple of visitors.
Are we allowed to drop these in? So we've got Fox Drop. Yeah, so Fox Drop is going to be coming in to talk to the students and be on the industry podcast, which is going to be next week.
Yep.
And it's very exciting stuff. You know, the guy is lovely. He's very well known within the scene as well. I mean, Finlow's been watching his guides for who knows how long, right at the early days of League, and I picked up on him quite early on to when I started playing as well.
I mean,
he was in the LEC when I started.
He is quite
playing.
a new face to me, because obviously I'm 2 years into League really now.
Yeah.
And I've only sort of recently started LEC within the past 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really taken that much notice of the League esports scene. But now I am, and this year I am watching most of the games.
Yeah.
I watched G2 thrash other people the other day.
Yeah. So our first industry talk will be Fox Drop. And stuff like 1 o'clock next week on what day, Finlow?
That should be Tuesday release.
Tuesday. Every week. Every last week of the month even. And we will have more industry guests on that Wednesday as well.
And I'm sure you'll be seeing photos of them pop up just across social media. We've got to capitalise on it. You know, they're here for College of Esports and London Legion. They're here for the benefit of the students and for everyone else, really.
Yeah. So make sure to stay up to date with that. And what else is there to keep up to date with this year? So the Refreshers is going to be having loads of trips for the students, which I'm sure will be on the social media as well.
We're going to the Natural History Museum, aren't we?
Yeah.
Why not? Going in central London.
I won't be.
And a Forbidden Planet trip. Sorry, remembering, I'm cutting you off.
The Forbidden Planet trip, we're going to have a couple tournaments. There's going to be a London Legion Day. There's also going to be the museum as well. But unfortunately, we won't be able to go to either. Because we have work at Bet UK.
Yeah, so Bet is the Business Education and Technology Festival.
Yep.
That happens every single year, usually at the XL Arena over just on the DLR station, very close to here. And it basically brings together a bunch of businesses and up-and-coming companies to show off their progress, their tech, how they can help business education and technology. So we're going to be working there. I'm doing the setup for Storm Broadcast, who give us all of this lovely equipment for the studio.
Yes, we love Storm Broadcast.
Exactly.
Genuinely, because they are so cool with how they've worked the virtual set, with the support they've given us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it only makes sense to support them a bit.
And you're also working with them as well.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing presenting, showing off, I believe it's going to be the Edison eDesk. Not too sure if they've got some sort of update on that, but the eDesk is very cool.
Yeah.
You know, myself and Kevin, we went across to the film studio where they were currently filming The Crown over in North London. Yeah. It's where they have filmed Star Wars before as well, in the George Lucas studio, which is very cool. You could literally see it from the Storm Broadcast building that they have.
Yeah.
And we made a bunch of adverts for the Edison eDesk. I'm not sure they ever made it past that point. But yeah, it was extremely cool what we did with that.
I mean, it's the fact that London's so sporadic and everything's going on.
It is, yeah.
You don't know what's going on half the time. All of a sudden, there's a Star Wars shoot in one of the tube stations, and it's crazy.
I mean,
but going back to Bet.
Sorry.
No worries. Bet Bet is a really good opportunity for us, and just esports in general, especially if you've been around the British esports scene. Bet is just has its own little pocket of esports, which is really nice.
Yeah, obviously British Esports Federation, they're going to be there.
Yeah,
they've got a absolutely massive stand from the look of the map.
it's one big block on the map,
one massive square. You can see it. And they're going to have some live gaming events. We've got some Rocket League players going across from the university itself, showing off their skills.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I mean, if you remember a couple of years ago, we went with college.
Yeah, we went with the college.
I played Rocket League on stage despite not touching the game in about 3 years since that point.
I think if I touch, I think I'm worse than you.
Probably.
Definitely. No, it's definitely.
I mean, that was a really fun experience.
You've had tournament experience.
I've had tournament experience, and wow.
Yeah. It's really good vibes there, though, and there is a lot to learn, I'd say, from Bet, because there's a lot of talks, a lot of panels, and whilst it is more on the education side than just the esports, it's one of many events that happen. So it just gives us a good slice of what we want.
Yeah, I mean, Coursera is typically there. I know Google are going to be there. Lenovo are going to be there.
And freebies. Can't forget the freebies. Oh, I think one of us got like 2 headsets just from the AIM trainers last year. I don't know if I'm gonna have time in my breaks, but
I got a mug. Still used it for my. I still use it for my toothbrush.
Yeah.
So, freebies cannot miss out on them at Bet.
Yeah, Bet freebies. You bet I'm going. Like the pun. Yeah. So, with that being said, I think it's going to be the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week.
Yep, that's when Bet is occurring.
And we'll let you know how that goes later on, whether in another podcast or on the social medias. Again, please stay updated. And with that being said, what are the other events that we could also be looking forward to this year?
I mean, obviously, we've got different industry podcasts. We've mentioned that several times now.
Yeah.
More podcasts with the chats and students like this.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to be us every single week for the first 3 weeks of the month. We are going to have different students coming on. It'll be probably one of us interviewing them, or maybe 2 separate people entirely.
Yeah.
So don't miss us too much. You can always come back and watch this episode and this specific clip of Stanley.
I'll go.
But so basically we're going through and asking people what student life is like.
Yeah.
It can be very complicated at university. It can be a lot of change.
Yeah.
And there can be a lot of stuff happen both within university itself and personally.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people move up here from their homes.
Sticks and mud.
Sticks
like
and mud.
us.
There you go. And you move up here, you move into student halls.
Yeah.
We've got Stratford 1, we've got Angel Lane, Tottenham Hale, where you're from.
Mm.
And it can be a very big change for people.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my first few weeks here, I was incredibly homesick.
Sound like an old man, Tim.
I know.
Back in my day. Back in Stratford 1. Those were the days. But there is a lot of change, and I think refreshers will be a good cover for those that are still getting adjusted to properly adjust.
I mean, we've got people from all over at the uni now.
Yeah.
We've got some people from up north.
Up the north, yeah.
We've got some from down south.
Down south, yeah.
No one as far as us yet, though.
Yeah. No, there is.
Wait, is there?
No, I think so.
Niall?
Yeah.
Is Niall South Devon or Southwest?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, obviously, I know you've got a few different people.
Yeah.
From sort of Taunton, Bristol.
Yeah.
There's one. I know we've got people from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Got some Southend people.
Yeah.
Got a couple from Essex. You know, we really do come from all over
the UK, and a couple international students like Finlow.
Like our producer Finlow, just sitting over there.
Yeah, just
and like Nevin, the audio engineer.
Yep. We've got Turkey. Turkey, Poland.
Yes, we've got
Netherlands, America, and a couple others. So far.
Yeah, no, we really do. We like to keep this university open and inclusive.
Yeah. So with that, there are also more events happening.
So it's a London host Halo Major. It's going to be a LAN.
Yeah.
And it's already been talked about in articles from Esports News UK.
Yeah, we love Esports UK. Shout out to Dom Sacco.
Been all over the place with that one. I mean, we've got a few different events as well. For example, big news, Worlds.
Yes.
League of Legends Worlds coming this year.
Yeah, and Counter-Strike. So let's start with League.
Yeah.
League is going to be hosted in the OVO Arena.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the O2's Arena, sorry. And Counter-Strike is going to be hosted by Blast in the OVO Arena.
Yeah, you got them mixed up, mate.
Those are two very big games with two very big tournaments. I mean,
we've seen the League Worlds Finals before.
Yeah.
And, that they can fill huge stadiums.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the O2 is going to be big enough.
Yeah, because last year we had MSI.
Mm-hmm.
MSI is always a big talking point just because of how good it was.
Yeah.
And I was volunteering there, actually. Just handing out a couple of surveys. And it filled out the copper box instantly. The fact that we got a ticket, we were so lucky.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it will easily fill O2 Arena. And then
what do you think about the Blast premiere? Do you think that will fill the OVO?
I think it will, yeah. I know the tickets are still on sale, which usually means it's usually not a good thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, when is it premiering? I don't actually know much about this one.
March as well, I believe.
Okay, sure.
If I'm correct. But Blast, it should be really fun. It'll be the first CS2 major.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to it. I come from CS roots.
You do, yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see. Although I think personally, with how the CS2 scene is right now, it is a little dry. So I understand why tickets haven't been selling as fast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh no, you're wrong. Not March. It is June.
June.
Thank you, producer Finlow.
Thank you once again. And yeah, June 12th to 16th. I think once it comes closer to the time, everyone will buy the resales and all of that, and it will fill up. But for the moment, it's got a 425,000.
Jeez. And World Final going to be in December as well.
Yeah.
So we've got the Blast premiere, and then looking forward to the final from that.
Yeah.
With obviously, I think top 8 teams, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be big. That's going to be really huge, especially bringing CS2 into the main scope of things again. Because I remember everyone was really hyped when it came out, and then they felt a little bit underwhelmed when it did come out.
Yeah,
because CS:GO was built off very good foundations, and they kind of perfected everything they could. I remember a lot of people saying about the hit reg was perfect, and the graphics may have been a little bit untidy at times, but Source 2 was something everyone wanted, but on the same game.
Well, there's two elements to this, right? I would say two main ones anyway. And one is there's been a very big content shortage.
Yeah.
And that has kind of died the community a little.
Yeah.
It's not a dead community in any regard.
No.
But there is frustration, and I myself feel it whenever I'm going back on Counter-Strike. It's always nice that you're going to be playing the same game.
Yeah. But
when you play it so much that you it's like staring at drywall, right? It just gets very dull.
Yeah.
And with that being said, it's not gonna hit those figures initially.
I mean,
but
who was your favorite team from the original CS:GO days when you were watching that?
Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro?
I love Pasha Biceps.
Are they still playing?
No, Pasha Biceps retired years ago, years and years and years ago. But it was it was a great scene back then, and it still is. And in fact, I think one of the counterpoints to the scene being died down a little is how well Into the Breach did last year.
That is very true.
On the final major, a team like Into the Breach made such a good performance getting into the quarterfinals. They had a Cinderella run. And that is one of the first UK teams to actually get into a major like that.
Yeah, I mean,
and have such a successful run.
Have you got any predictions for who might win that blast?
Well, I don't know if we'll be seeing Into the Breach again at the major, but there is a possibility. You never know. There have been quite a few roster changes that I think have died the team down a little.
Yeah, obviously, I don't follow CS:GO or CS2.
I'm happy to inform.
Are Ninjas in Pyjamas still playing?
Yeah, of course they are.
Good. I'm sticking with my old mains then. Ninjas
in Pyjamas.
Doing
great. They're still doing great.
Good.
And yeah, I would say G2. I have my money on G2, but everyone's got their money on G2 whenever they compete.
Always have your money on G2.
Finlow's on Vitality. They won last major, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Vitality, most recently in Siege, they did utterly awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Finlow, but they're not that good.
Yeah. What a shame. Yeah, it's like everything.
I mean, other than the ones just in London, those sort of big events, we've also got quite a few within the UK itself. You know, we've got Insomnia coming up.
Yeah.
I've got ESI, EGX.
Yeah.
We've been informed about the PUBG Mobile.
Yeah.
And that's got grand finals coming in. £3 million prize pool.
It keeps going up, I swear.
That is a Dota level of prize pool right there.
Well, I mean, nothing will beat Dota.
Yeah.
Because Dota's community funded, and when you've got a community to fund something...
Yes.
Those teams are loving it.
Yeah.
You could retire after one tournament, come in last place in a Dota tournament, I swear.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
yeah, so they haven't actually revealed the location for that one yet, but it is going to be taking place around about December time in this year. And yeah, that is an absolutely huge prize pool. And the general PUBG event is apparently scheduled to play out through March to April.
Yeah.
And that'll then decide who's going to the final.
Cool.
No.
Well, there's so much happening, and it's very... we're not approaching the time, which makes it... meaning we can only really go on the surface level.
Yeah.
But there's so many events happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility we might be going to Insomnia again.
Yeah,
I mean, that was really fun last time.
Yeah.
I know there were quite a few content creators going that I'd actually quite personally like to meet.
Yeah.
For my favourite streamer, Helion Kate, Dark Souls streamer. She's going to that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd quite like to meet her. She's an absolutely lovely person.
What would you say, since you've been at uni, are the opportunities you've had with networking? Because one of the big reasons I came was because of the networking opportunity, everything that was in London.
Yeah, I mean, originally, before I actually came here, I had a meeting with some of the staff, and I was essentially told that there will be job opportunities all the time, and they have kind of pulled through on that one.
Yeah.
For example, within my first year, I worked with J-Lings Esports quite a bit.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Well, I played for J-Lings.
Yeah,
that was interesting arc.
You played for J-Lings League for a little bit, didn't you?
Same as producer Finlow. And that was a really fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I was mainly a freelance creative for J-Lings.
Yeah.
First did some headshots on this very green screen. For the Halo team.
It's a good green screen.
It is a really good green screen. Had their new jerseys and everything, so met the full Halo team, met the esports manager, Toby. Lovely. Love all of them. Met Epic Global, the marketing team that they use as well.
Yeah.
It could not have had a better time there. And that was fully paid work, full freelance hours.
Yeah.
I was very happy to do their work. And then they came back to me again for some graphics, and also the league team when they finally debuted themselves. So, there's a lot of opportunities to work with big orgs like that. Even one's owned by Jesse Lingard.
Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot to follow with J-Lings as well, because it's not the only time we've been involved with them. There's ALGS, which also happened at the Copper Box, which was really interesting. And there's there's just so much going on in terms of networking.
Yeah, I mean, we got all the behind the scenes info for ALGS.
Exactly, because once you get the connection, you get the relationships, and to think ALGS was a year ago, and it's starting yesterday.
I was gonna say,
it started yesterday. There's a lot happening, and it's almost hard to keep track of. I don't know if people at home would be able to tell just by the way like I talk about it, but it's almost overwhelming sometimes. And again, Esports News UK is something that I like to follow. I think I recommend it personally just because I like League.
Yeah,
and they usually host watch parties for Worlds.
Our producer Finlo, he's been to a bunch of Esports News UK, like different networking events they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, he got me contact with Dom Sacco.
Yep.
So one of their lead editors. And also got me contact with Hannah Marie, who's one of the photographers and journalists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that then sort of broke me into the contact for that sort of journalism, social media side that I like to dabble in. Yeah,
definitely. And there is just a lot to digress with it.
Yeah.
I know, especially with esports in the UK, it's definitely building up, and there's a lot to cover within it. ALGS is a prime example. MSI was a prime example last year, and the fact that Worlds and Blast is going to be happening this year. There's going to be so much more journalism within the UK as well.
Yeah, I mean, aside from esports, as a university sort of community thing, do you think you're going to be going to Comic-Con?
Comic-Con?
Yeah, because we've got May MCM Comic-Con London coming up.
I think there is a place for esports at Comic-Con, but
well, there already is. They have arcade machines and everything else.
Right?
They have gaming sections.
Maybe a bit of Tekken 8 there. Oh. Yeah, yeah, I definitely. I've never been to a Comic-Con before.
Have you not?
No, I'm
fine. I'll show you the ropes. I'll bring you through it.
But I would love to do stuff like cosplay and all that. It's sick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as far as I know, we've got quite a few students that are planning to go to Comic-Con in the sort of May time. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun time, especially bonding us all together as a university.
Yeah. But before that, we have the broadcast to do as well. At London Legion.
Yeah. So we currently run the British Esports broadcast for British Esports 2 on Twitch, and we run that all from our virtual set. We have different casters. I work as graphics operator. Louis works as a replay operator. We've obviously got producer
and caster.
I do
a little bit of casting.
Do a bit of casting. Yeah, we've got producer Finlo, Nev, an audio engineer. We've mentioned him so many times now.
Yeah,
we've got a few cam operators and everything, and
it's very hard to do. I gotta say, and it's not like tooting like the uni horn or anything.
Yeah,
but we do the Student Champs Open, right? So and even that is the production to get everything flowing. Like, there is so much prep time that's needed. Like, everyone's a mini Batman.
Yeah, I mean,
with the amount of prep time we're doing.
It's a professional style of production that we're doing here.
And so we have just started this year doing the Student Champs Apex Open as well. So that's going to be very interesting. Those are on Thursdays instead of the usual Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool experience. I never had any sort of experience with production.
Yeah.
Until like coming onto the British Esports Student Champs, and I feel like I've fulfilled my role.
No, you did a little bit of hosting in college. I remember that.
I did do a little bit, but and I have had experience, but for an actual professional environment like this, where there is a standard.
Yeah.
You could say. It definitely has been very interesting. I feel like I've grown a lot.
Yeah,
personally.
No, definitely. And what day is that restarting this year? When's the first broadcast
31st of Jan.
31st of January.
So it will be on a Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, and then the Apex broadcasts are starting on February 1st as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a busy schedule coming up through the end of January.
Yeah.
And then even throughout the rest of the year, we're going to be keeping up all the time with the events, and generally keeping up with the esports scene as well. And hopefully that's going to be shown within the CoE Couch podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
And again, we're not going to be the only people on this couch. There's going to be, again, other students that can provide all sorts of different perspectives about the experience. Stanley will remain.
Of course.
He won't be going anywhere.
He's the most consistent member of the studio.
Yeah, he is the studio, I swear. But Stanley will remain. Other students will be here. I may return, or Tim may return for industry talks, where we interview the big names. As said, Foxdrop will be coming. And on top of that, there is a lot.
I mean, we keep up to date, get to keep all of our audience up to date as well. I say it's a happy medium.
I'd say so. I will be back next week, for example, with Foxdrop, talking about League, the experience of being a caster in the industry, the pressures, and what his favourite champ is.
Really?
All of that sort of stuff.
Well,
I know what his favourite champ is. I believe it's Lee Sin.
Really?
So, yeah, I think so.
All right, Rammus champ.
I love Rammus.
I know you love Rammus.
I love Rammus, I do. But it's...
my favourite champ has been in League 3 years as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Viego.
I know. It's been 3 years?
It's been 3 years. Yeah, just dawn that on you really quickly.
Oh my god. It's been 3 years. Wait, oh god. Oh, that's a long time. Anyway, there has been a lot to unravel because there's been so much pent up to discuss for this podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
for a long time coming.
This has been in the works for quite a few months now. We've been slowly going through and planning all the different things.
And there is much more to come.
Absolutely.
But the taking points I think are worth taking home for this podcast is, there's going to be some major tournaments coming up.
Yeah.
You should follow us with our journey with Bet and tournaments like the Halo League.
Yeah. And please support and follow all of the London Legion accounts. It helps all of us out, and it helps me out just as I'm trying to find the energy to make everything for it as well.
Yeah. And support Juno. They've been nominated. Any support is great support.
Yeah, more details on how to vote will be coming out soon. That voting just dropped today.
Yeah.
So just working on a small post for that one. And then we can get people going out to vote for London Legion Juno.
Yeah, so again, the details for College of Esports socials. If you'd like to just give a little list, a little rundown.
Let me give me a little list for you. So obviously we have the London Legion socials. They're pretty obvious. So we got London Legion Official and the Twitter as well, which I believe is just London Legion these days. But we have in fact got the College of Esports ones as well. So College of Esports on, I believe it is just at College of Esports on, I believe, Twitter, Instagram. We have the TikTok, and we have LinkedIn and Facebook as well. So it's very easy to find us, not complicated at all.
And if you forget, you can just look on our bio on the YouTube channel or on Spotify.
Look at the bio on the YouTube channel or the Spotify. Very easy. Click away. Go to the socials. Give us a follow. Give us a like, and support. And
if you do that, you'll be able to have another opportunity to watch the future episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, before we do actually wrap this up, mate, I think we should take a selfie.
I think we should.
It happens in every single podcast.
It's the new tradition.
It is the new tradition.
Got to get a post for the social media.
Exactly. So, just get an image. There you go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So
you'll see that post up in a bit.
So thank you guys for watching Legionnaires, and I've been Louis Skilton.
I've been Tim Caulfield. Goodbye.
And see you later.